Greetings, fellow Whovians. Well, as you can see, I have a new haircut, and needless to say, I'm not too happy about a certain something that happened yesterday, if you know what I mean. But anyway, let's not get into that. Instead, let's talk about today's episode, The Ice Warriors. Here we go. In the distant future at uh, Britannicus space, Senior Control Technician Jen Garrett and her staff struggle to control an ionizer they are using to slow the progress of glaciers rolling over Britain. Leader Clint is convinced that they can avert a new ice age, but the group knows they are only a few hours away from being forced to abandon the base. Tensions rise when Penley, a maverick scientist who has defected from the team, is mentioned. The remaining senior scientist, Arden, is on the glacier searching for archaeological finds when he discovers an armored man within a block of ice. Arden and his colleagues dig the Iceman from the glacier. The two scavengers observe their actions. The Anti-Technology Store and Penley, who live in the tundra. When one of Arden's team is killed in an avalanche, the other two head back to base with the Iceman. Store, too, is injured in the avalanche. The TARDIS survives outside the base. The second Doctor, Jamie, and Victoria go inside, where the Doctor helps with the ionizer. Arden and Walters reach the base with their prize, and Arden sets up a device to melt the ice around the man. The Doctor examines the frozen man, and they determine that the Ice Warrior is an alien being. An emergency meeting distracts the staff. No one notices that the ice block has melted, with the creature showing signs of life. The creature becomes mobile, knocks Jamie unconscious, and takes Victoria hostage. Dun dun dun. The ionizer planning meeting is interrupted when Jamie reports that the creature has taken Victoria. However, only Arden and Jamie can be spared for a search party. The creature identifies itself to Victoria as Varga, an ice warrior from the planet Mars, who has been frozen for millennia. He insists that Victoria help him find his ship and crew. There we go, okay. Penley goes to the base to steal medical supplies for a store. He sees Varga and Victoria and follows them as they leave the base. They encounter Clint, and Varga injures him badly. Penley tries to revive Clint and is found by the Doctor, who has worked out that he is the errand scientist. While the Doctor aids Clint, Penley leaves the base. Meanwhile, in the glacier, Varga finds 4 frozen comrades, revives them, and signs them to create defensive structures and dig their craft out of the ice. Varga is observed by Penley, who is backtracking in the snow, having used the medicine on his friend's store. When Penley returns to the store, he is surprised to find a visitor, Miss Garrett, who implores him to rejoin the crew of the base. Back at the base, Jamie and Arden are sent into the glacier, ostensibly to find the alien spacecraft rather than Victoria. They discover the Ice Warriors' cave excavation and report this to base. Minutes later, they are ambushed by the Ice Warriors, who leave them for dead. Penley finds Arden dead, but Jamie is alive. Penley takes him back to his home. Store decides to speak to the Ice Warriors, convinced they might be allies. Oh yeah, sure. Having failed to contact Arden, the base personnel assume something bad has happened. Moments later, the video link comes alive, operated by Victoria, and tells them of the danger of the Ice Warriors. An Ice Warrior is sent to capture Victoria again and use her as bait. The Doctor decides to go to the spaceship and rescue Victoria. Before leaving, he takes a vial of ammonium sulfide, which he deduces will be noxious to the aliens. However, Victoria flees into the icy caves. When the Ice Warriors find her, when the Ice Warrior finds her, he's caught in an avalanche and crushed. Ugh. An examination of the engines of the Martian craft reveals them to be functional but low on fuel. When the Ice Warriors encounter Store, they ignore his offers of help. Store is killed, but Victoria, whom we brought from the ice caves, is permitted to live. Whew. Meanwhile, Penley has found the Doctor and taken him to Jamie. He determines that Jamie has temporary paralysis and heads to the Martian craft. He offers himself as an envoy, leaving his communicator active so Clint can hear, and is allowed to enter the airlock. With the glacier threatening to crush the spacecraft, the Doctor gets Victoria released to him. Before Varga takes the communicator, the Doctor relays the message that Clint needs to use the ionizer, regardless of consequences. The Doctor is marched to the core of the spacecraft, where he spots an ion propulsion system. Varga decides to attack the base and orders his warriors to prepare a sonic cannon. Ooh. Penley brings Jamie to base on a motorized sled. Clint gives Penley a frosty reception, and they bicker. Clint says he has decided to use the ionizer. Zondel has been given the task of arming the sonic cannon. The Doctor and Victoria release a chemical solution in Zondel's face. The warrior collapses, but his hand activates the sonic cannon as he falls. Sonic blast triggered by Zondel glances the base, causing minor damage. Whew! Varga uses the communicator to call Clint, threatening to fire again unless the humans surrender. Clint knows the base dome cannot survive another sonic blast, and suggests a peace meeting between the two sides. The talks fail when a demented technician, Walters, tries to shoot the Martians. Varga dismantles the ionizer reactor to get the mercury isotopes he needs for a ship. Without the ionizer, the glaciers move forward. The Doctor and Victoria adjust the Martian sonic cannon so it will harm the ice warriors, not the humans. Penley alters the temperature and atmosphere controls in the base, so it becomes uncomfortable for the Martians. The Doctor fires the sonic cannon, forcing Varga and his men to retreat from the base. He fuses the sonic cannon before he and Victoria flee the ship. The Doctor works with Penley to recalibrate the ionizer. The computer calculates a 50% chance that the ionizer will explode when trained on a spacecraft with an ion engine. Penley tells Clint to work without the advice of the computer. When the computer overloads, Penley takes charge and starts the ionizer. The Martian craft begins to power up but is destroyed by the ionizer. Yay! The ship explodes without starting a chain reaction, which solves the problem of the ice warriors and the glacier. Their work done, the TARDIS crew slip away as green shoots emerge through the melting snow. Interesting. Anyway, let's look at some continuity and production elements of the story. This was the first appearance of the Ice Warriors, who have appeared in 4 more stories: The Seas of Death, The Curse of Peladon, The Monster Peladon, and Cold War. They are also mentioned in The Waters of Mars. Deborah Welling was unable to attend the complete recording of the final episode. Consequently, Victoria is asked, off-screen, to return to the TARDIS halfway through the episode. Unusually, the word episode was dropped from each episode number in the serial. All save episodes 2 and 3 of The Ice Warriors still exist in the BBC archives. The 4 existing episodes were all found in BBC Enterprises' Villiers House property in August 1988. They were only discovered as the company was in the process of moving out of the building. Michael Atwell later played Bates in Tag of the Cybermen. Angus Lenny subsequently appeared in Terror of the Zygons. So yeah, a pretty interesting story, and hey, it's the first appearance of one of my favorite classic monsters. So overall, I give The Ice Warriors 5 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, join me join me next week as we meet the enemy of the world. So, until then, this is Hoovy and Queen saying, "Oh my Gideon! When I say run, run! I've reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo!" Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.